Hey there, I'm Dr. Ruth Roberts, your pet's ally. Hope you all are well and having a good day. And I'm going to jump right over to the Facebook group so we can get some questions going. Um, so, Jamie was asking about the monthly Zoom, and I apologize. We are slow in getting these up. We are just about through our warehouse disaster, and so once we should be able to get things up for you. But the monthly meetings will be on YouTube, so Hannah will get the links posted here, and then we will also get everything posted up into the members area on the drruthroberts.com website too. So we'll get those up for you shortly. Kay, this is an interesting question about melatonin. So let me actually pop over there because I didn't do it. There's a bunch of benefits listed, and then down at the bottom, and this is actually a pretty nice review article about the benefits of melatonin. But then down at the bottom, as you said, there's a section that says, potential issues. And this is true. Safety of long-term use isn't clear. Clinically, I've not seen any problems. Hey, Susan, good to see you. So it's kind of, I'm not sure, this is kind of the things we end up having to say because we don't know. And if we don't tell you that there could be potential problems, then go from there. But I have not seen this be a problem clinically, and Hayo is certainly a testament to the fact that melatonin has been a big boon for her. So I found this article on WebMD which summarizes kind of the different effects and side effects of melatonin. So if you go over to the interactions tab, that's kind of where you can find this information. So major interactions. So the depressants, things like anesthesia medications, probably some of the medications that we use for sedatives like lorazepam, the Valiums, things of that nature, Klonopin. This is going to increase sedation with these medications, so that's why you have to be very careful there. If there's some potential benefit, it is worthwhile trying maybe half dose and see if it's okay or not okay. The upside is that the sleepiness will go away, but you should see this within 2, maybe 3 doses. So just again, as it says here, be cautious. Birth control pills we don't have to worry about. Luvox, which is fluvoxamine, which is going to be like a next generation fluoxetine, might increase the effects and side effects of melatonin. Melatonin can slow blood clotting, and so if your pet's on one of these medications, especially clopidogrel, that seems to be the one that really I see a ton of pets on right now, for better or for worse. And then any type of NSAID, you can see some increased clotting. So that one we do have to be careful about, and that seems to be more random, if you will. Melatonin may increase blood sugar. So it's not that, so again, if you'll notice, all of these are not saying don't take it with, versus Dr. Jordan's, oops, that ain't it. Summary is don't give melatonin with these drugs. You just have to be cautious and kind of work it through. Particularly with diabetes, there's some really massive potential benefits. So I think, again, you need to just start with slow doses and monitor your pet's blood sugar, and things go from there. So melatonin might increase the immune system, which is an interesting way to phrase this. We use it with for pets that have immune dysfunction and inflammatory processes going on. So it just may decrease the effectiveness of the medications that decrease the immune system, so suppress the immune system. So kind of play this one through, talk with your veterinarian, although you may get the same response that Susan got about T-Relief gel. And then, all of these other ones, which are not common in veterinary medicine except for the sedatives. Again, they may increase they may increase blood sugar, and then, they may increase drowsiness. So that's what I know. The dosing in that paper was actually pretty good. So that's a good place to start. So I hope that's helpful, Kay. And then Susan, for whatever reason, her neurologist told her that there is an interaction between prednisone and T relief, and he thought it was a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, and indeed it is not. It is homeopathic. So there is absolutely no reason to worry about any types of interactions. Come here. So again, here's hi-oh. So here is a list of Mia, turn the fan off, please. Here is a list of the ingredients. And as you can see, they are all homeopathic. The main pain relief one is arnica. And then these other ones also help to relieve pain. But as you can see, there's no evidence of any type of NSAID in here. And so absolutely not contraindicated. And then, as it says here, it's safe for stomach and liver. So we're not going to create any potential side effects with this. So I'm not sure why I told you that, but he was clearly a little bit lazy to actually look up the ingredients. Let's see. Poor Goldie. So Susie, we're so sorry to hear about having to let Miss Goldie go, but as you say, she needed to run free. You tried everything you could do, and she was really suffering. So I think you definitely made the right decision. And I love these pictures. She did so much good work through her life, and she's smiling in almost every one of them. Let's see. And so we've got that going for you. I think there was another question in my list of questions. Bear with me just a moment. I'll get to that in a second. Okay, Susan. Susie's other question was about vaccine titers. So if your veterinarian who's a member of the AVCA, the chiropractic, the organization that actually gives decreased costs on vaccine titers is the American Holistic Veterinary Medical Association. So I'll stick all of these links into the comments here, but this is where you would want to direct your veterinarian to come and join. It's, I don't know, maybe it's $200 a year. I don't remember exactly. But it is a significant discount. Now, having said that, because the rabies titers require overnight shipping, it does increase the cost of sending stuff dramatically. So that's where some of the cost comes in. But $300 is a lot, and it doesn't want to copy and paste anymore. So I'll get those in for you. So I think I hope that's helpful, but that would be the organization that you're going to want to go check out, or your vet is rather. And then May, I know this is you had posted this about Spirit waking up and barking, and that's really okay. That's really frustrating. So it's hard if there's an animal outside that is, waking him up. One of the things you might consider doing is maybe giving a little bit of melatonin. And if I don't think anything else has changed in your house, May. I think things have been relatively stable, but I would try working on adding in some melatonin at night, so somewhere around 1.5 milligrams to 3 milligrams, and see if that helps him sleep. And then if he is pointing at one place in particular, like at a specific door or window, where an animal may be coming by, then what you might do is put something there that would be able to kind of blocking the animal from coming near that area. Um, and I forget about armadillos being in Florida now. So the other thing you could try too, if you can localize it to a specific area, is something called a scat, which is we used to use for the cats to keep them off of the counters. But what it is essentially is, uh, let's see if we've got a. It's compressed air with a motion sensor on top of it. So let me pop over back here so you can take a look at it. But so here's the little motion sensor. Here's the can of compressed air. So essentially, what it does is it makes a sound, of the air coming out, and see if that will help. And to answer your questions, yes, you can buy the human size, and I think they usually come in like 5 milligram or 10 milligram tablets now. So if you get the fives, you can give like 2.5 and try that. So hopefully that is helpful. Let me jump back up here because we've got some more questions here. And Susan's Marty had a really horrible episode of she was having some back pain, I think, and then got some diagnostics done, including a spinal tap and anesthesia, and laser, water therapy, and acupuncture. What else can I do for him? This is where CBD may be really helpful, again, because it's going to help improve blood flow to the nervous tissue itself. My guess is that something happened inadvertently during the anesthesia for the spinal tap and CT scan, and it's horrible. But this is a potential outcome, unfortunately. So what else can you do for him, Susan? I think you're doing quite a lot already. I would make sure that the water therapy is not sort of over pushing it. If you see him moving the legs in the water, though, that's really good news. So I think passive range of motion, massage of the limbs that are weakened or paralyzed will help tremendously. You can always call my friend Mike Daly. He's in Charleston, but I know he likes to go down to Beaufort quite a bit. But I think massage will be helpful as well. But really, at this point, you're looking at time. And then the other things you could consider adding in would be things like alpha lipoic acid, again, a preferential antioxidant for the central nervous system. And I think Marty is somewhere in the area of probably 10 or 12 pounds, so something around 50 to 100 milligrams a day would be good. CoQ10 again, because we're trying to get the mitochondria and the cells back online. And that's really all I can think of at the moment. So the other question from Jamie, actually it's an update. Willie's actually feeling better. Diarrhea seems to have cleared up, and he's perked up, and good. So looking into congested liver stuff, so that's all good. Deer antler velvet, a lot of people swear by. I haven't had great experience with it, but there's a lot of folks that really believe it's like the best thing since sliced bread. And then Susan, if you can find somebody, see if your acupuncturist can help you with a formula for Marty. But I mean, a lot of people swear by it as kind of a deer antler velvet as a really profound sort of multimodal support. And I'm struggling to get the adaptogen, that's the right word. So that's one of those things that would be great. The thing that really bothers me about deer antler velvet is how is it harvested? And so for the benefit I've seen, I'm not sure that it's great. Yeah, Pam, I don't blame you. It's in the middle of the night, and it's like you can get him to um, get him to calm down. And as far as having him on it for life, I would definitely just do it for short term and see if you can get him to kind of quit reacting and then gradually back off the dose. So short term would be 1 to 2 weeks. If in 1 to 2 weeks it's not helping, it's not going to help. But I would see if that gets things under control. If it gets him to stop and kind of sleep through the night, then start backing off of it, by say quarters over the course of a week, and that should get things going. Slippery elm, I'm not aware of interfering with medication uptake. So let's see here. Let me see if I can check that out. Let's see here. So let's see. Let's look at WebMD. That's usually a good place to start for a lot of issues. Let's see. We can go up here to interactions. So I guess it can decrease it because of the mucilage. Again, I haven't seen this be really clinically an issue, but you can also separate them. So I think in this situation, the mucilage may help reduce the inflammation the irritation from the pred. But you may want to separate it and see, just because you really need every bit of drug into his body that you can get. Let's see. Yeah, Pam, it's a beautiful thing when you can find a massage therapist. Mike Daly is my friend massage therapist. Yeah, he's not cheap, but he is really, really good. And so if that can get some blood flow back into the spinal cord, all good. So who's your acupuncturist, Susan? Are you seeing Meredith Bordakove, or is she coming down there for you? Yeah. Okay, good. And Willie is starting to really heal up, which is awesome. And I think, it's tough to know what was creating problems and what was solving problems for Willie. So, given this, and I actually hadn't seen this be clinically a problem, but again, because Willie is in such a delicate place, I would definitely go with separating them. Oh, Julie Snyder. Oh, the toe grips lady. Good deal. I forgot she's down there. All right, so any other questions I have not answered for you? Let me double check my list and make sure. Oh, I know what it was too. We forgot about, I almost skipped this one. So Susan Riley's dog has been diagnosed with, he was having some problems with passing stool, and so he is intact. So Rico has an enlarged prostate, and the veterinarian wants to go in and just neuter him as soon as possible after the finasteride treatment. And so the downside of this is that it's going to create problems as far as lowering the excuse me a second. MJ, as far as reducing, what veterinarians want to do is go in and just do surgery and kind of cut things out, instead of seeing that we can, if we can get him through this with the finasteride, which is used for prostatic hyperplasia in human men, and just go from there. So what I would suggest doing is seeing, and you're in a position where you don't have a lot of veterinarians that are willing to work with you, but just don't. But if he's not examining the prostate, then you don't know if things are getting better unless Rico has less issues um, with the I'm sorry, guys. I got a little bug and I'm slow on the draw. So, what I would suggest doing is finding a veterinarian who can actually do a physical exam and check his prostate so you know, is it getting bigger? Is it getting smaller? If you come off of finasteride, does it actually get worse once that happens? So this is what I would suggest. And is it possible for him to have had an infection even though it didn't show in the culture? It is possible, but not as likely. So here's one way to think about it. Rico, I think, is about 5, and so that makes him somewhere in the order of about 47 or so, right? 45, 47, 50, somewhere in that neighborhood. And that's typically when men start to have prostate issues. So that's what I would do. See if you can find somebody that can actually examine the prostate and make sure things are getting better. And then Pam, as far as if you can get a 1 milligram tablet, that's great. The sustained release tablets, I think that just experiment. If that's something you've got handy, then try that 2.5 milligrams, because that's going to kind of help smooth things through the night. And then you can do, start with the 1 milligram tablet. You can start with 2 milligrams, see if 3 milligrams is necessary, and kind of go from there. So I think that is what I have for you all this week. If you've got other questions, pop in there. If not, I will see you next week. And actually, there's something, I think that's not till the 26th. So at any rate, that's what I got. We're having a lovely time up here in Park City with our granddaughter. And it is still hot. It's like 90 degrees, but at least it's not humid. So y'all take good care and see you next week. Thanks.